This is the Santa Lucia Highlands appellation. The thing that's interesting about the Santa Lucia Highlands is that they'll be typically about 40 to 60 feet above the valley floor, and then they'll go up to roughly 1,200 feet above the valley floor. Typically, the Santa Lucia Highlands will be just a little warmer. The soils are also very sandy. It's often interwoven with lots of cobbles. So very similar conditions to what we have in the Arroyo Seco, but a little more protected from the wind. Now in recent years, we've also partnered with some other long-standing families. Here is what we call the Costa Vineyard. The Costa Vineyard, which is about 110 acres altogether, is roughly 2/3 Chardonnay. About 1/3 of the vineyard is Pinot Noir. And this is part of what is going into our new series of wines, which we call Highlands Bench.
Now at the Costa Ranch, I think what's really important for the Chardonnay there is that we got to fine-tune the selection of the clonal material of Chardonnay. So in our case here, we went with a lot of the Dijon selections, primarily clone 95 and 76, and as well as the rootstocks, which is largely 101-14. But what I really like about the fruit off of this site, again, so with its waking to earlier sunlight in the morning with its eastern aspect, we tend to really develop some more tropical fruit character. For me, that sort of manifests itself as guava, and then also we get some very pretty underlying floral characters for Chardonnay. For Pinot Noir, being on the higher ground in rockier soil, we get a great depth of color, some very bright berry and cherry fruit characters from the Pinot in this particular appellation, really hallmarks of the Santa Lucia Highlands.
Now as we move up the valley, the area just west of the town of Gonzales, we go to the Ascoli Vineyard. This vineyard, we get 2/3 Pinot Noir and 1/3 Chardonnay. Now we've played with some different clones here. We have the Hyde clone, the Robert Young clone of Chardonnay, which gives us some really nice tropical fruit flavors, really nice acidity. And then we also have some really great clones of Pinot Noir, again Dijon clones. But as you look here at the vineyard, the Pinot Noir up at the highest part of the vineyard, lots of cobbles, not as much topsoil, really intense Pinot.
And in Ascoli Road, one of the things that was very exciting for me, see the first Chardonnays come out from this site and just have incredible intensity of very tropical fruit characters, mango, guava, papaya sort of aromas, but just a phenomenal amount of richness. The Pinot Noirs with the higher ground and the mid slopes, we have incredibly dark color and very vibrant fruit aromas in that black and red fruit, the raspberry, cherry, and as with the Chardonnay, the texture seems to be richer, oilier, maybe with a hint of sandalwood spice. And in making these wines, we like to sort of treat them in a very gentle fashion. So again, whole cluster pressed, barrel fermentation. In this case, we like to use some selected yeast from Burgundy, as well as a little bit higher percentage of new oak, given the vibrance of the fruit that we get in the Santa Lucia Highlands, which tends to be more tropical than we get in the Arroyo Seco region. Think of passion fruit juice or guava juice, as well as just some very big, bright flavors. So one of the qualities of Highlands Bench Chardonnay is sort of an elevated level of richness that we see from the Chardonnay, from those particular clones. Anything from guava and pineapple, but a little bit of passion fruit flavors, which are enhanced by that barrel fermentation. But because of the brightness of the fruit, that oak component really takes a secondary role in the way the Chardonnay shows in the glass. Because of those flavors, it really lends itself to sort of the oilier fishes, sauteed or grilled halibut or sea bass done with a papaya relish or salsa on top really is a nice pairing for that wine, as well as some of the richer triple cream brie cheeses, having the Chardonnay as an aperitif. It's a really nice combination.
I'm finding that the Pinot Noirs we're producing from Santa Lucia Highlands are really a riper California style. We've put a lot of thought into the clonal material and rootstock selections for this property, and the result is really wines with grace and finesse. In the winemaking, we make sure that the fruit isn't overrun by oak. We're always very careful to not over extract the fruit, and our goal really is to showcase that rich strawberry jam and espresso coffee notes that are present in the Highlands Bench Pinot Noir. One of my favorite restaurants in Santa Barbara serves a butternut squash and sage ravioli that I've paired with this Highlands Bench Pinot Noir in the past, and it's just a fantastic combination. My father-in-law has got a great French onion soup recipe, and we prepare that at home along with the Highlands Bench Pinot Noir and just have a great meal on our hands.